Hi, this is Joe from Way Scarff Ford Isuzu, and today we're going to talk about this beautiful 2018 Porsche Cayman GTS. Let's dive in. And remember, it's Porsche, not Porsche. If you want to be a member of the Porsche Owners Club, the easiest way to get kicked out is calling it a Porsche, which I've been guilty of in the past, but I've been corrected by many a Porsche enthusiast in my automotive career, so I've learned my lesson. And remember, Ferdinand Porsche was named Ferdinand Porsche, not Ferdinand Porsche. So that's why we call them Porsches. But seriously, let's talk about the GTS Cayman, an absolutely amazing sports car. There are many cars designed for many things, like the Bronco is designed to excel off-road. The Camry is designed to be a low ownership cost, efficient mid-sized family sedan. The Cayman GTS was designed to make you smile. Yes, this car was 100% designed to make you or its owner happy, giving you a smile ear to ear, and that's exactly what it will do. One of my favorite automotive publications, Car and Driver magazine, they have a CD rating, 1 out of 10, 10 out of 10 being the best. For the 2018 model year, the Cayman gets a 10 out of 10, the Editor's Choice Award, and it got nominated to their annual top 10 best list, which the Cayman is not a stranger of. Pretty much every year, for the past 30 years, I think you've probably found some Porsche product or another on that top 10 list. So there are a few different versions of the Cayman. You can get the base Cayman, you can get the S, and you can get the GTS, which actually is a new model for 2018. And the big difference between the models is the engine and the output. But unlike its big brother, the 911, where the engine is mounted behind the rear axle, the engine is mounted in the middle of the vehicle, so you really can't look at it. In fact, for a lot of repairs, you actually have to get underneath the vehicle to do certain repairs on the engine. But from a driving dynamics standpoint, the best place to put the engine is right there. The problem with the 911 is it's handcuffed by 60 years of having its engine mounted behind the rear axle. Porsche 911 enthusiasts will absolutely freak out. They will throw a fit if Porsche designs a new 911 and the engine is anywhere but behind the rear axle. And there's really no other vehicle with an engine mounted behind the rear axle except the city bus. But over the past 60 years, the Porsche engineers have managed to engineer the Porsche 911 to be an amazing vehicle. It's won lots of races. It's absolutely loved by the automotive press, and they've got that design philosophy to work for that particular product. But there's a reason why no one else mounts the engine behind the rear axle, making high performance cars. But with the Cayman, when they came out with the Cayman, which was based on the Boxster, which eventually evolved into the Cayman, basically the Cayman's a hardtop version of the Boxster, which is a convertible. Porsche wasn't handcuffed by a design philosophy because it's a brand new product, so they decided to put the engine in the middle of the vehicle, which makes a lot of sense because it allows the vehicle to rotate on its axis through the corners. The center of gravity is right in the middle, giving as close to 50-50 weight distribution as possible. And it transcends into divine handling. In fact, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists that thinks that Porsche purposely neutered the high-performance versions of the Cayman and the Boxster because they're afraid it actually might go faster than the 911. I don't know if it's true or not, but just because of having the engine in the middle of the vehicle, it just happens to perform and handle better. So going back to the different versions of the Cayman, the base Cayman has a 2-liter flat 4-cylinder engine pumping out 300 horsepower. Then there's an S version. So you have a 2-liter flat 4 engine and the base version of the Cayman pumping out 300 horsepower. Then with the S version, the displacement of the flat 4 goes from 2 liters to 2.5 liters, and output jumps to 350 horsepower. Then we have the GTS, which retains that same 2.5 liter flat 4 engine, but the output is increased an additional 15 horsepower to 265 horsepower. The GTS also gets torque vectoring and adaptive suspension and a mechanical limited slip differential, as well as unique bodywork. Form follows function on Porsche designs. So the end result of Porsche products is how aerodynamic, how efficient it is, and the way it looks tends to be an after effect of that, but it seems to work really well for Porsches because they're all absolutely beautiful vehicles. Their SUVs, their sedans, their coupes and convertibles are all very handsome, with their form follows function philosophy. Lovely wheel and tire package, massive brakes. Look at the size of those calipers. These are like the size of calipers you'd find like on a Ford Super Duty, not a little two-door sports car. We have our cross-rolled rotors. The nice thing about the Cayman is not only do you have storage space in the back, but you also get storage space in the front. And it's actually pretty large space. You could fit enough luggage in here for a nice long weekend or even a week if you're good at packing with your significant other. Nice down to business interior. Got the Cayman GTS kick plates, perforated leather seats. I like their red seat belts. And as always with Porsches, the ignition tends to be on the left side of the steering wheel, not the right. Ooh, and that flat four engine has lots of character. So you have an adjustable exhaust. You can have it quiet or somewhat quiet, or louder. Nice little rumbling, snap, crackles, and pops. I was a little bit disappointed when I heard that the Cayman was going to get a 4-cylinder, because when the Cayman first was introduced, and along with its brethren, the Porsche Boxster, they all got a version of the flat 6-cylinder engine that we found in the 911. But for whatever reason, Porsche decided to put a flat 4-cylinder engine in it. But this flat 4-cylinder has lots of character. You can feel it vibrating. It has nice sounds, and it's actually more responsive and more torquey than the naturally aspirated flat 6-cylinders that they used. And the flat 4 configuration is a unique engine configuration. So Porsche has been making flat engine configurations pretty much since Porsche existed, along with Volkswagen, which is part of the Porsche family. The original Volkswagen Beetle, which came out in the 1930s, that had a flat 4-cylinder as well. I've had comments in the YouTube saying that I'm an idiot, you know, calling the engine pancake shape, but yes, it really is pancake shape. It's flat, that's why they call it a flat 4. So it's really compact, has a low center of gravity. Another car company that really has done a great job with the flat engine configuration is Subaru. Pretty much all the Subarus are either come with a flat 4 or flat 6-cylinder engine. So it's got lots of character, lots of power, sounds great, and in many ways is superior than the flat 6-cylinder engine it replaces. You can get a 7-speed PDK transmission. This one has a 6-speed manual. I'm a big fan of manual gearboxes. The PDK is fantastic, but there's nothing like that mechanical connection. You have the vehicle roaring through the gears, that perfect rev match downshift. It is not that hard to learn. If you're gonna get a car like this, put in the effort to learn to drive a manual, and you'll be rewarded for it. This one has 42,000 miles. We have our down to business interior. It's not overly bougie, it's functional, but very nice and comfortable. I'm 6'2". I have plenty of headroom, plenty of legroom. I fit very nicely in this car. All day comfort, all day driving comfort. Nice Alcantara headliner, leather up wheel feels wonderful in your hands. You have this drive mode selector, so you can dial up the fun, put it in sport mode, sport plus. That will make changes to throttle response, traction control, settings, steering, and obviously the exhaust. I just love the way that engine sounds. Kind of sounds a little bit like a Subaru WRX STI, which I absolutely love the sound of those vehicles. I love them. We have heated and ventilated front seats, auto climate control, Bose sound system, rear parking camera, parking sensors. We also have a little spoiler that pops out too. What a beautiful automobile. Thank you so much for taking the time today to watch this video. We are Way Scarff Ford Isuzu. We've been in business 103 years, proudly serving the greater Seattle Tacoma area, located in Auburn, Washington. We sell new Fords, new Isuzus, and a very wide variety of premium vehicles, as you can see. We like fun, sporty cars like Porsches, Corvettes, and of course, lots of cool Mustangs. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.